What's good, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Welcome back to another video. Today we'll be reacting to Chill Do Lazy 6 most painful things you can experience. Ooh, just get ready to feel this one. Alright, without further ado, I got nothing to say. Fuck, I'm tired. Ooh. Yeah, nothing to say. Let's get right into this video.
Number 6. The Rust Demon. You get a small cut from stepping on a rusty nail or working in the garden. You rinse it off, maybe slap on a bandage, and promptly forget about it. But deep inside that insignificant little wound, you might have just rolled out the welcome mat for a microscopic monster whose entire purpose is to turn your own body into a medieval torture rack. This is Clostridium tetani, the bacteria that causes tetanus. And its method of attack is pure neurological terrorism. The bacterium itself is mostly harmless. The real villain is the potent neurotoxin it churns out, called tetanospasmin. This toxin goes on a road trip through your nervous system until it reaches your spinal cord and brainstem. Its mission? To sever the lines of communication that tell your muscles how to relax. It's like a maniac getting into the control room of your body and smashing the off switch for every muscle you have. It starts subtly, usually with a stiff jaw, giving it the famous name lockjaw. Then it spreads. Your facial muscles pull back into a horrifying fixed grin called rhesus sardonicus. Your neck and back muscles seize up, forcing your body into an arched position so extreme it can break your own spine. This is opisthotonos. Every muscle in your body begins to contract in excruciating, full-body spasms that can be triggered by the slightest noise, light, or touch. The force is so immense that your own muscles can snap your bones. You are fully conscious throughout this entire ordeal, trapped inside a body that is systematically destroying itself with its own strength. It is the definition of a living nightmare, and the sickest joke of all is that a simple, cheap vaccine can prevent every last second of it. Number 5, the suicide plant. Most of the dangerous things in nature aren't personal. A bear attacks because it's scared. A snake bites because you got too close. The Gympie plant of Australia. However,
of course it's in Australia. Well, if it isn't a poisonous plant in Australia. Of course it. Oh, I think I remember hearing about this. Oh, bro, I was watching some creators react to this one Australian dude. His accent is funny as hell. Like, fuck off. He's moisturizing. Like that's funny. But he was talking about some plants that are poisonous and will. Hold on, I gotta find it. Hold on. I gotta find it and find this.
A few moments later.
Okay, I found the video. I believe that guy is talking about this plant. This is a creator I'm talking about.
Plant will put you in the hospital. I'm dying. This is the Gympie plant, a piece of foliage native to the land down under. And surprising no one, not only is the thing venomous, it is in fact the most painful plant on the planet. Because of course, man, even the fucking leaves down here have a problem with me. Growing in the rainforests of northern Queensland, these hell bushes are covered in tiny hairs that upon closer inspection aren't hairs at all and are actually thousands of hypodermic needles waiting to stab you and break off inside your skin if you so much as brush them. Once inside you, these needles will inject you with, I am not kidding, neurotoxin and cause absolutely excruciating pain. I mean, like comedic levels of pain. With one person describing it as being covered in hot acid and electrocuted, and another woman saying that it was straight up more painful than childbirth and she'd given birth 4 times. And the f***ed up part is, the neurotoxin isn't even lethal. So this spiteful of a plant is hurting you purely for the love of the game. Mind you, there are reports of people saying getting stung by this thing is actually worse than being put in the ground. This is because Groot's little hellspawn cousin here can continue hurting you for literal years after being stung. This is because those thousands of little hypodermic needles are actually made out of silicon, meaning your body can't break them down. And with how thin they are, your skin will usually close up over the top of them, meaning that these neurotoxin emitting slivers can sit inside your skin for literal years, releasing more neurotoxin anytime that they're moved or disturbed. This constant, chronic, agonizing pain is so unbelievably bad that there have even been records of, trying not to get banned here, people Alt F4ing existence to make it stop. This particular incident came from a man who accidentally used one of the plant leaves as toilet paper.
Yep.
I don't think it gets much worse than neurotoxin to the nuts. Touching.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. It sounds like it's this plant, but this also is very different. But it looks just like it.
Feels deeply, deeply personal. It seems to have been designed by a committee of demons with the sole objective of inflicting a level of pain so creative and so enduring that you question your will to live. It is not a coincidence that its common nickname is the suicide plant. It looks deceptively innocent, like a common shrub with big, fuzzy, heart-shaped leaves. But that fuzz is a lie. The entire plant is covered in millions of tiny, hollow silica needles, essentially microscopic glass hairs that function as hypodermic syringes full of a potent, ungodly, stable neurotoxin. The slightest brush against a leaf or stem injects these needles into your skin, where they break off and begin their evil work. The initial sensation is described as feeling like you've been simultaneously set on fire and electrocuted. That's the good part. The real...
What are you doing? William, come here. Well, chat, like I said in that one video, whenever you see Louie, you have to like the video. So, she's back again. So, leave a like. Anyways, get up there. Cute little bundle of joy. Alright, y'all better like that video.
Torture of the Gimpy Jimpy is its persistence. The pain doesn't fade in a few hours. The tiny silica hairs remain embedded in your skin, continuously leaching their toxin for weeks, months, and in some reported cases, for years. A cold shower, a change in temperature, or even just touching the affected area can trigger the original, full-blown agony all over again. Victims have described the long-term sensation as having a limb constantly submerged in acid. It's not just an injury, it's a long-term subscription to misery, delivered by a plant that looks like it belongs in a suburban garden. Number 4, the living rock. Imagine you're wading in a beautiful, shallow tropical reef. The sun is out, the water is warm, life is good.
Sun's up, buns up. My fault.
You put your foot down on what you assume is just another piece of coral or a lumpy rock. In the next instant,
I think I've heard about this. I don't know much about it, but I think I heard
pain
about
so immediate, so volcanic, so utterly absolute explodes up your leg that your brain, through the white-hot static of pure agony, forms a single, desperate thought. Cut it off. Right now. You have just met the stonefish. This creature is the undisputed champion of venomous fish, and it's a master of camouflage. It looks so much like a rock that other small...
$10 it says it's in Australia. $10. You hear that, Louie? $10. $10 this thing's from Australia. Boop, boop.
Smaller rocks are probably jealous of its acting skills. Lying perfectly still on the seafloor, it waits. Along its back is a defensive arsenal, a row of 13 sharp spines, each one a loaded syringe connected to a sac of powerful neurotoxin. When you step on it, your own body weight provides the force to depress the spines and inject a full dose of its venom cocktail deep into your foot. The pain is not a slow burn. It is instantaneous and is consistently ranked by medical professionals as one of the most severe pains a human can experience. It rockets up the limb, causing grotesque swelling as the venom destroys your tissues. Without anti-venom, it can easily be fatal. But it's the pain that defines the experience, a torment so profound that it overwhelms all rational thought, causing victims to scream, thrash, and famously, beg for amputation on the spot. The stonefish is less of an animal and more of a biological landmine, designed by evolution to deliver a fate worse than death. Number 3, walking on fire. Everyone has been stung by a bee or a wasp. There's a moment of sharp, fiery shock, a bit of swelling, and then it fades into a dull, annoying throb. It's manageable. Now, take that initial, white-hot moment of impact, turn the intensity knob up to 100, and then set a recurring timer for it to go off every few minutes for the next 24 hours. Congratulations, you have now experienced the sting of a bullet ant. Native to the rainforests of Central and South America, the bullet ant, or Paraponera
You know what else outside Australia I'm never going? South America.
clavata, holds the undisputed crown for the most
Why the fuck does it say America is Brazil?
painful insect sting on the planet, sitting right at the top of the Schmidt Sting Pain Index. The man who created the index, entomologist Justin Schmidt, described the pain with a chilling and poetic clarity. Like walking over flaming charcoal with a 3-inch nail embedded in your heel. The pain is not complicated. It is pure, clean, and all-consuming. It arrives instantly and blossoms into waves of throbbing, burning agony that last for up to 24 hours straight. The venom contains a powerful neurotoxin that directly targets the nervous system, blocking signals at the synapses and causing your nerves to fire uncontrollably. This results in debilitating pain, temporary paralysis of the affected area, and uncontrollable shaking. The experience is so legendary that some indigenous tribes famously use gloves woven with dozens of living bullet ants as part of a brutal coming-of-age ceremony for young men. The bullet ant delivers a pain so exquisitely refined that it serves as a scientific benchmark for torment. It's nature's way of reminding you that absolute hell can be delivered by an insect the size of your thumb. Number 2, the suicide headache. Most of us think we
Suicide
know
headache.
what a bad headache is. You get a migraine. The world becomes too bright and too loud, and you retreat to a dark, quiet room to wait for the misery to pass. A cluster headache is not that. A cluster headache is to a migraine what a nuclear explosion is to a firecracker. It is a neurological event of such profound violence that many sufferers claim it is worse than broken bones, gunshot wounds, and childbirth combined. It's one of the most painful conditions known to mankind, and its defining feature is its cruelty. The pain is almost always one-sided, centered in or around the eye, and is described as a sharp, boring, or stabbing sensation of unbearable intensity. Patients have compared it to having a hot poker being driven through their skull, or an ice pick being twisted in their eye socket. But the worst part is the cluster. These headaches come in cyclical periods that can last for weeks or months. During a cluster, a person can suffer multiple attacks per day, each lasting from 15 minutes to 3 hours. They often strike with terrifying punctuality, frequently waking victims from their sleep at the exact same time every night, earning them the nickname alarm clock headaches. The pain is so severe that unlike migraine sufferers who lie still, cluster headache patients are unable to find any relief. They often pace the room, rock back and forth, or even bang their heads against a wall in a desperate, futile attempt to create a different pain to distract from the primary one. It is torture on a predictable, inescapable schedule, orchestrated by your own brain. Number 1, the face betrayal. Think about the gentlest sensations imaginable: a light breeze on your cheek, the soft touch of water while washing your face, a smile, the feeling of a toothbrush against your teeth. Now, imagine that any one of those harmless everyday experiences could trigger a pain so instantaneous, so electric, and so blindingly intense that it feels like being shot in the face with a lightning bolt. This is trigeminal neuralgia, and it is widely considered to be the most painful condition known to medicine. This disorder is a malfunction of the 5th cranial nerve, the trigeminal nerve, which is responsible for carrying sensation from your face to your brain. For various reasons, this nerve can become damaged or compressed, causing it to short-circuit in the most horrific way possible. It begins to interpret normal, non-painful stimuli as a catastrophic injury. Pain isn't an ache or a burn, it is a sudden, stabbing, electric shock that lances across one side of the face, lasting anywhere from a few seconds to a couple of minutes. These attacks can occur in quick succession, dozens or even hundreds of times a day. This condition is so famously agonizing that it's often called the suicide disease. Sufferers live in a constant state of terror, afraid of their own face. They may stop eating, talking, or even leaving the house, because the simplest act of living can trigger an episode of unbearable torture. It is the ultimate betrayal. Your own nervous system turning the most mundane and gentle parts of life into catalysts for the worst pain imaginable. It is the undisputed heavyweight champion of human suffering. That's all for today.
Oh.
I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them. End.
Oh. Oh.
One silver lining to fewer movies coming out this
Shut
year.
up. Pat, shut up! Damn! My fault. I didn't mean to disrespect you, Goat. I apologize. And this dumbass that just dropped everything. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed that video. I'm gonna get out of here. It's my leg hurt. I'm trying to rest. So I'll see y'all here.